Other people who have grown up with political targeting in the family probably feel a similar stew of emotions: sorrow and anger, pride and obligation. In fact, I met a young woman last summer at the Carry It Forward youth gathering who comes from an amazing activist family, and I want you to meet her too.
My name is Asantewa Suni Ali. It wasn't even 6 a.m. when it happened. October 18, 1981, Birdtown, Mississippi. There were dozens of squad cars and huge Army tanks. FBI agents and police officers surrounded the house with their guns drawn. Everyone in the house was ordered out onto the porch. "Send out the boy," one of them yelled, and my brother ran to hide behind my mother. They arrested my grandfather first and took him to the jailhouse. Next, my mother. My sisters and brother were last, their tiny hands tied together with telephone wire. They sat in the jailhouse for several hours, then were released to my newly freed grandfather. My mother was kept in custody. My father was in New York. After seeing pictures of himself on the evening news, he went into hiding. My parents were activists, members of the Black Panther Party, cultural workers, and performers. My mother toured as a vocalist with Miriam Makeba. My father played saxophone with Gil Scott-Heron. My mother was also the national chairperson for the Republic of New African Peoples Council, targeted by COINTELPRO. "We know that you and your husband were involved in the Brinks robbery," the cop said. Her only response was to declare her innocence. She was tortured and held on $500,000 bail before being released due to a confirmed alibi. She was subpoenaed to a RICO grand jury, refused to cooperate, and was remanded into custody 7 times over the next 2 years. She won a furlough 2 weeks before I was born, but was remanded again when I was 4 months old. After 2 years of persecution, during which time my family was scattered and lost all our material possessions, my mother was released, the case against her was closed, and my father was acquitted of all 30 counts against him. I was 9 months old. My parents never allowed me to forget our stories. I grew up not only hearing their story, but also living their and our struggle to bring about social and racial equality. 9 years ago, I was introduced to the Rosenberg Fund for Children. Through my sister, who had attended a Carry It Forward gathering and received a grant from RFC. The RFC has assisted me with the cost of school books and supplies and study abroad programs in Cuba, Spain, and Ghana, West Africa. They also invited me to join the peer staff for last summer's Carry It Forward gathering. I hope that someday the RFC won't be needed. I hope that someday babies won't be separated from their mothers because of politically motivated persecution. But in the meantime, the RFC community welcomes us and helps us understand that even though our families are targeted and our situations may be difficult, we are not alone.